What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Ethereum Classic. I want to go over some of the current data points, what's moving it, and if this is a good time to buy or not. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So ETC at the time of doing this video is up a very impressive 22.5%. A lot of volume, so 30.4 million. So a lot of big institutions are kind of paying attention to it. And there's a lot of different things stuck in limbo. So starting off, ETC isn't the only thing that's running. Every kind of cryptocurrency and speculative stock and coin is really moving higher, and you do see a lot of big ones such as Internet Computer as well, up about 22%, Pepe 12%, Filecoin 76%. So there's been a couple of things that's kind of stuck in limbo that was going to be a pretty good catalyst for a lot of these coins, and that is ETF approval. But regrettably, because of the whole government shutdown, it's been kind of put on the back burner for the most part. But there was some pretty kick-ass news that did come out very close to the market close, and that was this. So came in at 2:58 p.m. It did state U.S. Senate Democrats on Friday scaled back their demands to end the 38-day government shutdown, the longest in history. But they do have one demand, as what is stated right here. And in reality, the market moved up like crazy, as well as cryptocurrency, and because they feel like that one demand is doable. And it does state in here that it'll only be a couple hours. That's all it would take for just the nice rubber stamp approval. And then once that comes in, you should have a nice market rotation. So one thing that's been really looming over the market has been just a lot of fear associated to the shutdown. You've had a lot of Fed speakers saying because of the shutdown, it's going to really impact a lot of data points, GDP, and so forth. So because of all that fear, we did have, even just this last week, $116.36 billion leave both crypto and equity to go into money markets. So right now there is a record high $7.53 trillion. So essentially now people with this optimism that's kind of on the table now, and potentially as well another rate cut coming down the pipeline in December because of some of the negative data that we did get, such as challenger job cuts on Thursday. Now that could really incentivize some of this money to rotate back into crypto, and which would in turn cause a huge spike, and similar to what happened between 2020 and 2021. And so in case you didn't know, everything and their dog went up like crazy. So when it comes down to it, this might be the start of something very, very big. So big money definitely getting in, a lot of good volume. So at the time of doing this video, at the top right here, so you do have the fear and greed index still under the fear category, so it is 21. Because of that news, it did move from the extreme fear to the fear, so it is moving higher. And potentially, if things again go according to plan and we get some more clarity over the weekend, that could really push it to the neutral. So meaning people's appetite for risk is definitely going to be there on the table. When it comes down to it, you do see a little bit of shorts. So one thing that's always plagued ETC is that it's heavily shorted, and we haven't had that much activity lately. We had, of course, on October the 9th, things go absolutely bonkers, not necessarily in a positive way, regrettably, but it does look like we are starting to move higher and shorts are starting to liquidate. So this kind of shows all the liquidations on November the 6th. So yesterday does show 763,000 shorts liquidated, and then 734,000 in longs. So it'd be interesting to see the next round of data for today on kind of the magnitude of shorts returning, and most likely we'll probably see a squeeze similar to what happened in July. So let me know your viewpoint on that in the comments below. When it comes to some key levels, with it right now at 1779, it is trading between this R3 and this R2. So 1887 so far has been the high over the last 24 hours, 1455. So hats off to those individuals that did buy the dip, because things were looking pretty grim, if I'm going to be fully honest. So definitely buying the dip paid off this time around. But 1733 followed by 1684 is going to be support levels, and then 1812 followed by 20 20 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So potentially you could see a nice push higher from here. Aside from that, on the actual chart, it did have that nice burst higher. It did bounce off of that 200-day moving average. So we know going forward, that's a heavy resistance point. But if we do get some good clarity, then again, we could really break past that and then get kind of at least test that 100-day moving average. But the big deal for a lot of speculative plays is the 50-day moving average. And luckily enough, it blew past that like nothing, like it was butter. So in reality, things are starting to heat up. I think it might be premature to start kind of talking about if we're going to be having like another crazy swing like what happened here. But if we get, let's say, more talk on rate cuts with the government shutdown, potentially kind of that fear going away, we might get more labor data, and so that could really snowball into a lot more market optimism. So that's where you could see some pretty impressive price action. But key is you need to kind of have a lot of conviction. And this ETC definitely has tested a lot of conviction. It does fail to really hold a lot of the gains in the past, as what we've seen. It does have pretty good runs. It's just all about timing. So no different than what happened in November 2024 when it ran from about $17 to $39, which was absolutely epic. But key is just follow the data. And right now you do see a lot of algos really pushing it. You see some from the flow right here. So you do see a little bit of institutional transactions, but most of which is linked to algos. So let me know your thoughts on ETC. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, if you are looking for some solid day trades, pop over to my new stacked account. Just launched it roughly 24 hours ago, and so for $10 a month you get swing trades, or if you want a little bit more, you have day trades and whatever else. So definitely take advantage of this. A lot of the ones I've been putting out lately have been on point and massive bangers, so definitely worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.